have 0 viewers, so nobody will really hear what we're saying right here. But hi, this is Mike and Kevin, and we're in the shop today putting some orders together, putting some personal things together. So we'll switch in and out a little bit. He's working on the first Order Stormtrooper back, and I'm going to put some of the cover strips on the back of the Shoretrooper cabs right here. So I'll spend some time with the belt sander, sanding down the back, a little sanding on top, sanding and gluing. So feel free to pop in, ask questions, whatever. There we go. That's not going to give us a live shot, that's a delayed shot. At least we can see when it says anything.
Okay.
I'll put a message at the top. Yeah. That's me. I put in a comment at the top. So it's going to be a little delayed from that picture.
I think we got the match on there pretty good.
Oh, don't use a Sharpie, use a pencil.
I've already used it already.
Huh?
I've already used it already.
Alright, well, it's too late now.
Yeah. So Is this also recorded so they can pull it back up later?
Yeah, well, we're recording it. We may be able to republish it, but also I'm recording it if we do anything worthwhile or we go through it at certain course. So,
I guess once I get it situated to where I like it, looks like it's flush, I can glue it.
hijack the phone,
Okay.
trying to see if Lisa said we only got one thing. Yeah, there is something. my video. And I can't figure it out from where I am. it to work on your phone, you could try looking it up. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Apparently, whenever I was trying to do some tests earlier, it started doing some live streams anyway, even though I wasn't running anything at that time. Hey, hi. Ah, it's Josh. It's Fish. Hey, Fish. What's up? Where's Bones? He's got to be hiding somewhere.
I heard from Bones in a while.
We check in on each other every year, a major disaster, mainly hurricanes, etc. Got in a group chat with Scott Mall whenever Michael was blazing through, because he wasn't hearing from him. You know, we want to make sure Scott was doing all right.
Boy, Scott, I haven't heard from him either.
He sent random texts every once in a while. I still think of him every time that I see 10:10 on my watch or on a clock every day.
Why 10:10?
Jay Harris, that was his TKID number. Jay Harris, yeah, he got booted from Everglades, caused a lot of drama.
Yeah.
It was something about selling merchandise, making merchandise unauthorized, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he was the nightmare for Scott's CO position at the time.
I remember Jay Harris.
Yeah, I only met him a time or two. Thankfully, that deal was done by the time we were really getting active with him again. Yeah, I knew he had a job at like the museum, curator, which just sounds like, you know, dream job for him. Of course you're doing diddly-doo-doo. Yeah, oh yeah, you're hearing the old names. We still talk about these people all the time. I mean, these were lifelong friends we made because of a silly plastic armor spaceman club. But
Or Scooby-Doo.
yeah, well, that's Scott's deal.
We need to get Trooper right here. We haven't had him in a while.
Well, he's up in Tennessee, and whenever I've gone up to Cleveland, I've been very tempted to drop in on him. It's kind of on the way. He said to come on up, and should, but not right now. Ain't nobody going nowhere right now.
Because of the COVID.
Yeah, I might be in Orlando here in a few weeks for to pick up a piece of equipment, unless he delivers it instead. Might actually decide to swing through y'all's area for a change. If I can get an extra day off, I could probably use it.
So once I got it situated, just glue it together and then we do the
Yeah,
slurry.
super glue it, sand your surfaces, super glue it. I went to Home Depot and I meant to get more sandpaper, and I should put acetone on the list because we need acetone to make an ABS slurry. The ABS slurry worked out a lot better than it really does. I like how it fuses those parts permanently together.
Oh. And that's the only bottle of accelerant we have.
Jay brought on Old Predator. Forgot his name. I have no idea. You must be drunk. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. Dude, reviewers finding us. You're all finding us. It's really just a test to see if we can get YouTube live running. Maybe I can get some tutorials going this way out a little bit faster, and Logan can edit them down later. Just have to deal with whatever in the world I'm dealing with during the day. So no, it works. Successfully streamed on Twitch and Facebook and now YouTube. I thought the apocalypse would have been like this. One of them may be Lisa and Cora. I told them to tune in so that Cora could see her daddy for a little bit. And I just got the link up. I don't know how it looks on the back end because I haven't really been able to see YouTube from an account that's not signed into the shop here. I was trying to look on Kevin's phone, but it looks like I had some false starts earlier that they were actually trying to publish. And I don't know why. Because I never actually went live. I was just testing the features and getting that. But now that we're hearing the try again, it actually works. Technology went past me with the old, once we got into the Pentium computers. That was really it for me. Yeah, other than that, life in the apocalypse hasn't changed much around here. Kevin's still a paramedic, so he still has to go to work. I pretty much just go to work from home. I go to Sam's Club and Home Depot earlier today to replenish some of our supplies here, but we're just trying to get stuff out while the world is on pause.
You know, shouldn't even be accelerant on this. Just kind of let it sit.
As long as you clamp it really hard, I've had good success with it. Squish it in the middle as much as you can. You can use it if you feel like eating up. As long as you sanded it really well.
I did. I used 8 grit and a palm sander. It should be fine.
So, Josh, do you still have your 212 clone? Go grab it for a moment for you. Put the ear pod in so I can at least have music.
The bar just
Yeah, we actually had a really good run from December up until basically you can look where the stock market crashed. That's about where our orders kind of cut off around here, but we started picking up again about a month ago.
Let me see your spray.
We were already busy, so it was like, let's just take this time to fill all these orders. All these boxes behind me here are ones I have to build. I've got 6 other first order Stormtroopers that I'm working on too. Well, it'll be 5 other. There's one of them right there. Yeah, we just got in a couple more big orders this past week for builds, so I'm definitely working at the workbench for a little bit. Our kit orders are pretty much under control. We just got in our shipment of black ABS. If anything, right now we need employees. I need more people in here, and I'm actually trying to get them, but either we can't find anybody that's any good, or
consistent.
everyone's just flaking out on us right now. So whatever. And I was going over to get something. I don't remember what.
Dremel.
Here's our live advertisement of Powerade.
Dremel.
Dremel. And we got a visitor. No, I guess they're just speaking, but alright. I had to get down here to get my pistol real quick. I can't stand it when we have bums try to walk in and whatnot, so I'll just leave that out. Yeah, there's water and Powerade. Alright. The audio's real good. We just got the microphone set up over there. I haven't listened to any of these terrible videos that my son edits.
Well, that reminds me, I gotta get something out to Lance.
Get what?
Lance Para in Tallahassee, I think.
Lance Tompkins?
No. There's a guy. No, I think Lance is in Texas. I got something for him. I gotta send out. I was thinking out loud.
Spirit Adventures, hello from France. So, hey, thanks for calling us the best, dude, because we're really not. We're just some guys that like to make Star Wars costumes. Nothing real special. Just been doing it too long.
France is on. What's that?
He thinks Bones is either building something outside or just drinking beer with a neighbor.
A beer pyramid. That's what they're building.
Probably.
Hey, we can use a beer pyramid.
So, yeah, if you got your 212 clone, we're trying to get a resurgence of the 212 up here. For now, we have two 212 airborne. We're trying to put back in that mandatory, you got to do a 212 run if you're going to do a clone. That a purple. And I've been growing my hair out to do Obi-Wan episode 3, so it's kind of like everything's just coming together for that right now, and my old age and being able to tolerate longer hair at this point, so I have to have it slicked back like a crazy millennial, so it gets long enough and it doesn't just swoop up everywhere. no more Death Troopers. You're just getting done. Oh, we got Jordan Carlson out of Bentonville, Arkansas. All right. Start getting this piece ready. Get sanded there. Sanded already. Some ones you did after that. Oh, your day to fair, right? Oh, your day to fair. Yeah, that's that. You're the only one that's sanded, so oh well. They all got to be done. You get used to it. Drink more beer. If we ever get to have an actual convention again, no idea if we ever will or not. I'm not planning on any for this year. I'm using, they already canceled San Diego Comic Con, so I'm kind of using Celebration as an estimate right now to see if like the World Celebration and Dragon Con, if those two cancel, then we pretty much forget it. It's over for the year. But that doesn't mean you can't come out of it better. Basic build. Yeah, Fish says armor hurts now at this age.
What?
I know he's older than I am. He's at least your age, but yeah, it does hurt. It's just everything's
The thin skin of being old?
Everything is painful now. Trust me, 14 years ago I didn't feel pain the way I feel pain now. I just tossed those over there. Well, from my gap from when I was there in 07, 2017, it was Mike and Joe's convention is what it was before. Then went again the next year and just felt oversold, so forget it. Not interested. It's, I don't know, too much of a party con for me now. I hate saying that.
What's that?
Get a Dragon Con. You guys need to come down to the Everglades party weekend. That's what y'all really need to do. I've called y'all every time I've gone, but every time I've gone, it's been short notice going for me. So next time we get some advance notice, like right now would be a really good time to do one of those party weekends. You can get some cheap hotel rooms, maybe. I don't know. Are hotels open?
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, why not?
Let's see why there wouldn't be.
No, you're right. May as well do two at a time. Got 2 sets to do. I'm glad you're getting your projects done. There's plenty of things you could be doing for us right now, trust me, but you've got too many projects for yourself piling up, and you've got to have some relaxation. This is just work.
That's what I told Mary. This is just me keeping my sanity.
Get out of the house for a bit. I mean, yeah. I'm kind of thankful for the pandemic. It's actually helped our bank account by not spending money because there's nothing to do. So, you know, it's go to work, go home. That's about it. Glad we have work for now.
I mean, I'm tired of the bullshit.
Well, hey, watch
Everybody,
we are live streaming, so
That's
watch
right.
your language.
every little sniffle, everybody's like, "Oh, I got to go to the hospital. I got the COVID." No, you just got allergies like everybody else.
Yeah. Oh well.
So is this the YouTube live stream?
Yeah.
Just go look for 850 Armor Wars.
Yeah, and whoever can subscribe too, subscribe so you get updates. I mean, I had to subscribe for you. You weren't even subscribed.
Is that not subscribed?
No, you weren't. It's not like we're trying to get monetized here or anything. We're just trying to use it as a tool so people can learn how to assemble their armor more easily. That's really the main goal. We're just trying to find a format to do it in. We thought Twitch streaming would help, and getting those videos done. It took a while before it was figured out. Just sit here, record a video, and do it. So, you know, I could start instructing y'all how to assemble Death Trooper stuff right now. These are all the basic parts I have. It's pretty simple. This is really how I start my Death Trooper builds because these are the easiest parts to do. Put the biceps together real quick, put the shins and calves together real quick, put the forearms together, put the knee on the front of the right thigh, put the little string detailing thing on the hamstrings, put the chest back sets together, toss it all in the box, and we're pretty much paint ready. Don't just pass out since it's already had enough to drink for the day.
I made a post.
I put one on the Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if Instagram has a link, and I don't know if people are getting confused on the wrong videos because I don't know what YouTube is actually publishing right now. I can't see it on our back end.
a new join?
No, Lisa was having problems finding the screen because apparently there were some weird ones that popped up, but put up the link, it should work. There's actually 4 people watching right now, so. Stream was 53 minutes ago, so yeah. I don't like YouTube video. Not easy to work with. You never be quiet on the bench thing, I think like YouTube video type stuff. Keep family down. Yeah, you can do easy things. Not that anyone is really overly complicated, it just helps out the right way of fixing that. Came live for me, about 15-second delay. Only 2 people watching me tan. What a disappointment. Josh, you're just lighting up our chat room. Nobody else is chatting. Come on, we need some good questions. I don't think it's working, but come here. You can chat in the chat.
great on camera. I went.
Well,
No blood.
no blood? Well, a piece of resin from the cover strips whenever I was washing them earlier got me. Got a nice new hole in my jeans right here. That was a close one.
Hey, do you know anybody needing any resin blasters?
Hmm?
Do you know anybody that needs a resin blaster?
What kind?
The F11D and
That needs one? What?
it's finished and everything.
What? Is it yours?
Got somebody that wants to sell theirs.
Okay. How much? Where? I might take it just for the heck of it.
I'll have to ask again. I want to say.
That's the one thing I just need to put on the shelf and not, sell. Because I've had 2 of them and I've had to ship both of them out.
All right.
So, I don't know. I might consider it. out how to delete those videos on the back end of the server, so we only have one up and people cannot be confused. There we go. I just had to refresh the page. For some reason, they just weren't coming up. So now we've only got one. We got 12 views. We got 4 live viewers. Hi, 4 live viewers. We got other notifications coming in too.
Really? What?
Okay. Yeah, somebody commented on the video saying we should have more views. Well, that was an accidental upload. These things happen. So I think he was just trying to be funny on it, but I already deleted the video. We should have all the videos and live streaming stuff figured out. If you go on our page, it should look normal now. Silly. Warcraft on one screen and us on the other. Well, thanks, Josh. We really appreciate that. I'm just trying to find a pause here where I can maybe do some like real tutorial stuff for the Death Trooper and get a combo knocked out of the way. Wait for Kevin to quiet down on the belt family. He's following my tutorial from the First Order TK back. And I'm just going to hide behind the little bubble here because I feel like it. I said we need to cover through it. You hear that, deer? You got to come in the morning, or we'll have to do it school in the afternoon. Oh, you can't understand. Well, you can't understand me because Kevin's on the belt sander. I'll be nice and start moving the microphone closer to me. Maybe that'll cancel out Kevin a bit. There. Now you should be able to hear a little bit better. You may be getting a little knocking around right here. There we go. Find a nice little spot for it. In fact, I'm going to get a clamp. Just going to put a clamp on it so it stays upright. There we go. Little clamp on it, it'll stay up. Yeah, well, we're trying. This microphone is very unpredictable, and then it has things that, how loud is that? So let me see if I have some cover strips. And Kevin's still making too much noise for me to really say anything or do anything, so I'm gonna go look for cover strips real quick and do a little tutorial intro and see if we can give Logan some work to do. it's not live. It's delayed by about 15 seconds, so you'll see yourself walk across in a minute. It's the only way we can use live chat, though. Now that you're off the belt sander, I'm going to do an intro video, so I can try to knock out a couple little basic tutorials on the Death Trooper. Alrighty. Alright, I'm going to film some tutorial intro opens, and you're going to get to see how terribly I do them live, because usually whenever I do them, there's a lot of stopping the recording and starting the recording and deleting because I fub over my words way too much. Now we're going to do an overhead camera. I had to move the microphone over here. Got some feedback, but it wasn't getting good over there. Oh, hi, I'm Mike from A50 Armor Works, and I'm going to be bringing you a myriad of Death Trooper tutorials today. We're going to start out by going with the biceps, because they're one of the easiest pieces to do, and I'll zoom in and go in depth step by step, even though I may not do all these steps for you. Kevin's here with us today. He's working on some miscellaneous things in the background, so if you're tuning in to us on the live video, hi everybody on the live video, here we are. We are rocking and rolling, and I'm going to switch over our view here and show you how we put together the biceps for the Death Trooper. So, you can see me working, and now y'all don't have to look at my face, and you have to look at my face. You don't have to look at my face. You have to look at my face. You don't have to look at my face. In fact, I should probably do something else. Let's stop over here. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I think. That's my range. Just make myself a nice little range right here so you don't have to look at it. So starting out with the biceps, you're going to make sure that you identify your left and your right biceps. It's pretty easy to do because you want your lines in the front. Your indentations are going to be in the front. These go in line with the shoulder belt. One of the easiest methods that we have of putting these things together is just by overlap. And since this is the left if I'm doing an overlap, I like to make sure that seam, if you're wearing it, is hidden from the back, so it goes this way. You can also butt join these and seam fill them, do them any way you want. One of the simplest things to do, though, is just go ahead and do the overlap. I line them at the top or at the bottom. It doesn't really matter. You got to remember that the upper portion here is mostly going to be covered by the shoulder belt anyway. So if you have any areas that you want to have an error on, you're going to be better to have an area that's going to be covered. So we'll choose to line them up at the bottom. These were already trimmed. You know, you can, let's get it up to the camera here so you kind of see how these trim out. We don't leave any return edges if we can. Really, return edges are not your friend in this armor or in any armor if you can help it. And I am going to line them up at the bottom. I'd already trimmed these, already sanded them. I got them on the belt sander. Those are little things you have to do. You can pretty much watch any of our tutorials and see that. The one thing that I do like to stress is the surfaces that you're going to glue, always be sure to pre-sand them very well, because you want to create the tooth so that they have a chance to bond with one another. I already know where this thing's going to end up, so we're going to use our 2P10 thick super glue. Any thick super glue is fine. It's my preference to get the 2P10 because it comes in these really big 10-ounce bottles for like $30, give or take. And they seem to last a while around here. I can pick them up locally at a place right down the street. But for activator, for the Instaset brand, we're probably about to start experimenting with some of our own activators because of the epidemic. We've been having issues getting supplies as quickly. All the hobby shops here have closed, so we can't support local economy. So I got my super glue down on this end. I pre-squirted on that end. I'd already done several test fits. I use my thumb as a guide. Just got it right on top, and that's instantly cured. Put a little pressure on it. Looks like I didn't get quite enough right here. It's okay. Squeeze and squirt. Yeah, we're going to experiment making our own with baking soda and water and maybe some glycerin, I don't know. Heat it up, mix it all together. I'm not a chemist. Alright, that's your basic of your left bicep. Just going to go across this way. Let's see where it goes. Now that it's all glued together, wipe off some of this excess celery. And I'm going to take my big snips and just follow the curve here. Across the top. And if you want something to be ugly, you want it to be hidden by another part. Hi Wolfgang. Sorry, I had the window switched over to the other view since it's doing live portion of a real tutorial there. It broadcasts with a little bit of delay, so if I need to look up, kind of freaked me out a little bit. So we got the right bicep now. Same theory as before, since it's the right hand side, and he's making noise. This is why we can't have nice things. Huh? There we go. Now we're done with the noise. Okay, on to the right bicep for the tutorial portion. So, same with the left one. If I'm going to do the overlap method, I want that seam to be coming on this way. I don't want to be looking at a seam this way. You know, that can pop up in views and cameras again, or you can try to butt join it, do a strip in the back, cover strip in the front, a little filler all over that, sand it down. That can make it look beautiful. But overlap assembly is about all you need for the biceps. I've already pre-sanded both surfaces here, the outside and the inside. Just about any grit will do to start creating that too. I don't even know what this is. That's 150. That's okay. 120 works a little better. And we're going to line it up on the bottom. So our test fits are complete. Healthy amount of glue. Re-screw up the inside of the joint. Then I'll line it up starting at the bottom. Just checking the flex here, making sure there's nowhere else. Got a little bow up right here. We'll get some glue in. And if it comes out looking a little wide, this plastic is really flexible. So you'll be able to shape it by hand. You can dip it in a cup of hot water, hold it, mold it, take a little heat gun, a hair dryer, anything you need, kind of give it some warmth, squeeze it, clamp it, hold it in place. You can flex them and mold them. They are supposed to have a seam. But that's it. That is a pair of Death Trooper biceps, quick assembly. Shoulder bells should always be stripes forward, because these are going to line up right there and there. I'm just trying that with both hands. So that's your adjustment point. From there, it's strapping of your choice. You can run in Velcro, you can run in nylon through there. I like to do a nylon loop through here and run that through my suspender system that I wear under my armor. That way my shoulder bells are connected to that and I have free range of motion with my shoulders. It gives me a lot of mobility in my armor, but that's my personal preference on that. What's that? Oh, we got the back. No, they're really not. I'm gonna assembly line all 7 I have to do now. Alright, I'm gonna do a quick outro video, even though we're live recording, so Logan can edit. Okay, thanks for tuning in. That was our Death Trooper quick bicep tutorial video. Be sure to tune in and subscribe for more of these wonderful, great videos on how to assemble our armor and the crazy things that we're doing around the shop. So we will see you next time. One take wonder? I am not a personality for TV. I don't want to be. That's not me. Oh, what parts do I want to do next? Yes, let me do forearms, and we can do same kind of cheesy, corny intro stuff that we're still doing. How long have I been in the armor business? Since 1997, off and on. So we've been doing this for a while. We have had 850 Armor Works open since September of 2016, I think. Something like that. So it's been alive and kicking and taken over by our family business here, and you know, it's keeping food on the table. That's it for right now. Yeah, whenever I started doing this, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have the internet, we barely had the internet. I got my first armor kit from Dale Matson at Wookiee Cantina. It was an Armor FX armor kit with a giant helmet, a booklet on how to put it together, and yeah.
Yours was an Armor FX.
Yeah, yours was Armor FX. There were several resellers, so there always have been resellers.
I think mine came from Costume Junkie.
Yeah, yours came from Ed Pugia. Ed still does stuff off and on, I think. I haven't talked to him in a few years, but we used to do a lot of business. He and I did some of the first Biker Scout vests before we even had CRLs. So, you know, that's really something big to me.
I still got the armor. The helmet's sitting over there.
What? Oh.
The FX helmet. Square helmet.
Yeah, but at this point, it's time to move on to R1 TKs. They're the base for every suit. Yeah, but this really got started because we were 3D printing for other things, for another industry. Then started 3D printing some props again and took molds off them, and one thing led to another, and here we are making armor and doing builds. I don't like being braggarts, and because it feels like repeating myself all the time. Kevin and I are both founding members of the Legion. I was one of the original 8 at DragonCon in 1998. You know, I'm inactive now, but I'm too busy doing armor and doing support for our squad. Oh, my favorite Star Wars movie. Well, it's Empire Strikes Back. I mean, that's just the best movie ever made. That's all there is to it. I don't know if we. I don't know. I watch a lot of videos, you know, with all the plot holes and stuff in the sequel trilogy, and it just makes me hold my head in shame that I ever loved Force Awakens as much as I did. But I don't know. I like Star Wars. There was a period in my life where I watched one of the CBS Fox tapes every single afternoon from the time, I think that was elementary school. So I knew Star Wars inside and out as a child. I already knew the armor. I already knew all of this from pausing it, looking at things. I didn't have to wait for a Blu-ray. I just knew it. I loved it. Yeah, I don't want to bash the movies on live. I gotta bite my tongue. I gotta get a little bit more experience there. Favorite TV show, though? You know, I'm gonna jump in and just say Mandalorian's my favorite TV show.
So far, that is.
It really is. It's checking all the boxes.
That's the one that's bringing back the original trilogy feel from me.
Right. It's an era thing. I think we need to see the era. Before The Mandalorian, the favorite TV show were the Tartakovsky Clone Wars cartoons. I really loved those. We were watching a video about it before we were streaming here anyway, and I remember rushing home from work.
Just to see 15 minutes.
Yeah, just to watch it, and we had actually just had Hurricane Ivan in our area, and I lived a county over and had to go over the interstate or take a back road to get across, so we were checking traffic cameras before I'd leave, and if traffic were backing up or if it were like really clear, I'd have to ask permission to leave work real quick and go home just to be sure I watched it. No DVRs, no YouTubes, you know. Yeah, duct tape is canon. Gaffing tape is very much canon. I can also show all the canon errors that have been in the new movies that they've been putting in Mandalorian. They've just been throwing them in the Mandalorian left and right, and I just, you know, applaud them Thank you for throwing in costume errors all over the place in production.
Like in The Force
Thank
Awakens, the part where the X-Wings show up, you see the First Order TKs. One's got an entire half of his thigh, nothing more than white duct tape.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I need to freeze frame that one.
And you can see like a inner portion of the thighs, not the white duct tape.
I like making a stink about things like, I'm sorry, it's the Pathfinders that started it. I mean, they did. They started it with their Lancer status, but they really blew it right off the bat. I'm not getting into even the metric elastic and things that they go into it. That's fine and dandy. But to make it a base requirement that the canvas has to be wrapped around the shoulders, that's wrong. The first scout that you see in Return of the Jedi does not have the canvas wrap. His shoulder straps are smooth all the way across. It looks like it's one uniform piece. That's very achievable with all the current armor sets that are out. You butt join them, you can fill the seam. It looks like it actually has a bit of a return edge to it. So, you know, if you need to make a specific chest and back, then make sure it has a return edge and fill all those edges in. But those are just little problems that the Legion has. And they can't keep it straight. They can't keep the Shoretrooper, Death Trooper, Tank Trooper chest and back straight. You know, we've got 3 of the same things that all have different CRLs on them and different requirements, and it's just silliness. Just silliness, that's all. My favorite and least favorite Imperial armor. Kevin, you go ahead.
My favorite? I'm still partial to the Stormtroopers. Those are the ones that everybody wanted. But I will say that favorite-wise right now, it's got to be my Vader. I mean, it's just it's comfortable.
Well, is that character or is that armor? I mean,
I like it all because
I mean I could throw out that blanket answer too. I like it all. I've liked every costume I've ever had too.
I just like the way it looks. Like we've got the light up chest box, the belt boxes, and everything.
Because I'm just thinking which trooper.
Oh, you know, if we had to go like troopers, like just like the main baddies. The main trooper that I've liked so far. Honestly, it's going to be the First Order TK. I don't know why. I know that everybody.
I like the clean look of it.
I do.
I like the helmet. I hate building that armor. I really do. For some reason, I have just never enjoyed building that armor.
No.
I like the way it looks when it's all done. And it is a really comfortable set of armor to wear. That's why I wore the ammo pack one for a while. I just love that suit.
The second one is obviously, I loved my Jango. When I had my Jango, I liked the way it felt, I liked the way it looked. The Mandalorian helmet just, to me, has always been really nice. That's probably one of my favorite helmets. But when I did the Jango and I had that set up, I don't know.
Yeah, for me personally, my big heyday was in the clone era. So my favorite, I don't know, I'll just say my favorite armor would have been Captain Rex and the Order Trooper variations at the time that we had. I really loved wearing those. It was comfortable. The kids loved them. The Clone Wars cartoons were hopping at the time. Now my favorite armor, I'm going to revert back to Stormtrooper, because really Stormtrooper is why I do this to begin with, is because I just wanted an E11. I got the E11, and I wanted the armor. So you give the pig a pancake, and he's going to want a glass of milk, right? Mm-hmm. So my current favorite suit is just going to be the Rogue One TK, because it's so versatile. Disney has used it as an anthology suit. I was very adamantly against it in the beginning because I didn't like how intricate they made everything. But once I started breaking it down, it's really just a great set of armor. Mm-hmm. And it's used for everything. It's used for your plain whites. It's used for your Jedha troopers and all their variations. It's used for the Mimban troopers. It's used for the Incinerator trooper. It's your all-in-one OT era. And maybe I'm just digging the OT era now again.
It's also in the Remnant armor, right?
Yeah, the Remnant armor. I mean, it's any Disney production armor is what we call the R1TK. So
I'll eventually have that one done.
yeah,
soon, too.
I love my Minbin Trooper right now. He is the most comfortable set of armor.
I posted pictures on the Minbin fan page again.
Yeah.
With the suit already weathered, and a bunch of people replied just because there was a guy named Chris Iken, I believe it is. He got one of our Rogue One, and he just finished it up. He posted on our Facebook page that he's done. It was all white. Now he's doing a whole Minbin thing with it, and he did a damn good weathering job on it. And I posted our weathering job on it, and everybody was just like, "Oh my god, I gotta get this!" Because apparently Chris Iken did a build tutorial on whitearmor.net. So he listed us in the build tutorial, and that's probably why we've seen an increase.
No, it's yeah. We looked up and we had 3 new builds. Actually, 4 builds came in one day, pretty much. So it hadn't slowed down too much. No, my least favorite armor.
Flame.
No, there's something that I absolutely hated, and I can't remember. That was just a flat out no.
Is that the
new Jet Trooper.
Yeah.
I just don't like that thing. That Jet Trooper is just ugly, and then the Sith version of it is just like, really, guys? Here, can I copy your homework? Yeah, change it up. You change the color on a new thing, and they fly now? They fly now. They've flown since before the Clone War. Okay, sorry. Bad dialogue stuff, too. Can't help it.
Especially from Finn, since he was one.
Oh, yeah, Finn was one. He should have known. I mean, really? They've been flying for a long time. So, yeah, I didn't like the helmet. Oh, I'll go ahead and say the Range Trooper, too. The Range Trooper was just a big fat
magnetic boots on a train.
The helmet was cool, but the pimp coat, they lost me. I think they could have done better than a fur pimp coat. I think we could have gone a little bit more Snowtrooper-esque on that one, and it would have been a home run.
The boots to me,
and then I would have done the boots, because the boots are plenty well possible. They really are.
Oh, they're already done. There's somebody's made them already.
Yeah, give me a good 3D model file that's separated well enough, and we can... Man, we could make all sorts of crazy things.
I mean,
with those.
To me, it just reminded me of that whole Ripley in the Aliens 2 movie thing where she gets in that robot. It's just like, those boots just reminded me of that.
They were nothing.
I mean, how practical is it? They're big, they're bulky, they're heavy, but you're a magnet and you're on a train.
I don't know. I'm really thinking hard. OT era things I don't like. I've never liked the AT-AT driver. I like them when they're sitting. When they're standing, they just don't look right. It's the moon boots. It's something about the moon boots.
Of the gray AT-AT.
Mm-hmm.
The helmet's
if you're sitting, I love the armor and the helmet. I just don't like seeing the costume in person. It's just you need something below your legs. What are your least favorites?
I will go with the Range Troopers as being one of my least favorites.
Good.
Yeah. The Jet Trooper I looked at and was just kind of like, huh? I wouldn't say it's... Yeah, it is kind of my least favorite because I think it was underused. And it was it's the Red Imperial Guard. Okay, it's just the helmet and a robe, and you stand there with a pike, and that's it.
Right.
You never see them in action, but they're supposed to be elite.
Like,
you never see that one.
Well, you've read the Crimson Empire comics, right? I love the Crimson Empire comics.
Now, that armor was great because it had more to it.
It was utilized. It had a purpose.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I could see a Royal Guard as being a silly kind of Imperial costume.
Have you seen the Royal Guard from the Rise of Skywalker? I sent you the pictures of
and like all 3 of my viewings of Rise of Skywalker, I was trying to squint in and see them.
I've got it. I sent it to you.
Oh man. For what? What basically amounted to a background character and some very bad stunt choreography? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to badmouth Star Wars again. But it is true. Oh man, I'm gonna try to move on to your next question. I'm blind. I need to replace this TV that it's on. Correction, favorite and last favorite to work on. Oh well, we've had a whole nice conversation about armor we just liked from the series. Armor I like to work on and armor I don't like to work on.
I kind of answered that. I don't like building First Order Stormtroopers as much. They're definitely my least favorite to work on.
This was the
Yeah, you
Sith
sent me
pilot.
that. It was just kind of like, yeah, the concept Sith pilot. It's just why. They didn't even like send out their TIE fighters on Exegol. You know,
I don't.
I'm sorry, the ships can't go up. Oh, how did that first ship go up? Oh, because he had the tower. That's right. So he was able to go out. Well, why did they just send all their ships out at once anyway? What were they waiting on? And why did he say in 16 hours? Because that just totally blew what hyperspace can do. And don't even get me started on light speed skipping, because this isn't the Marvel universe. I can accept it over there.
Mm-hmm.
It just made hyperspace feel like a throwaway plot device. Favorite armor to work on? Shoretroopers, Death Troopers, well, portions of Death Troopers. The thighs get a little messy whenever I get to the real thigh tutorial.
Here it is.
Y'all will see it. Wait, that's like half tanker, half TK.
This is the one sitting around Palpatine in the road.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Are you? Does it sit on your shoulders or?
That's the picture I've got so far.
Oh.
It's called the platoon leader.
Oh. I guess Novos is going to do the helmets. I guess somebody is. I have no interest in that. I'm sorry. Our projects are to finally finish the Sith Trooper. We have some new things that we're going to be debuting in the shop here pretty soon. But that's many months away. Those were our summer projects that we're just getting started work on. I've got another 3D printed commission I have to do for a young lady. I wanted to get her pre-Vizsla, I think it's pre-Vizsla, is what she was called, get all her prints done and start doing our post-OT era bounty hunter style armor that we're not officially announcing right now, but it's going to get done and it's going to be made of fiberglass and it's going to be beautiful.
Which was that?
The Mandalorian, whenever we get to it. So we get it printed and smooth. We'll have it set up for nice fiberglass production in the future. That's some of the areas that we want to push the Sith Trooper into, is we may be doing some fiberglass production to go along with the vacuum form production. Because the Sith Trooper, other than the few pre-orders that we have that helped us fund the project to this stage, beyond that, we're probably just going to do a limited run of about 50 suits and call it a day. The molds are going to, the helmet mold will experience tear outs eventually, and that's a good number to put it at. So we can put a retirement and a full life on it. Work on. What do you feel about the Stormtroopers and the concept for the Mandalorian and how they have missing armor bits? I love it! That's what I was like saying earlier, is I love how the Mandalorian and Filoni and Jon Favreau have just like screwed with the Legion by having missing bits and broken pieces and obvious errors in the armor. You know, it's wonderful. Thank you. I think they were doing this deliberately to say, calm your standards. You know, everybody can't be picture-perfect statues all the time. That's why you had to have the scouts featured the way they were, sitting on their bike with their cummerbunds. And then, lo and behold, was it Hot Toys or Kotobukiya or one of them just announced it. You know, they're having their high-end figure, and what have they done with the cummerbund? It's squished in the mold. You know, they're casting it like that. So I love the errors. That gives us a little bit of creative freedom. You know, just in case we have errors with our armor. You know, Death Troopers, they can be lightly weathered. They don't have to be perfectly shiny. I like them shiny. But, you know, if you have a few errors or your armor starts getting scratched up, don't worry about it. It would be nice to have Legacy contact us and ask for us to build them a whole bunch of Stormtroopers for the show, because I could do it really cheap for them. I'd be really glad to just start the assembly line of troopers and have them canonized, even if they're just background and stunt suits. That's fine by me, because we based our R1 suits on, you know, how they made their suits while throwing in backforming. I still strongly believe that all of the new Star Wars armor was injection molded. It's just too crisp. You know, they knew they were making X amount of suits. There's too many common shared parts among some of the suits, so you had to start scaling back on some of your costs, but it kept uniformity and it kept the production line in the back. There's no way you could have built backform first order suits for the production like that. An injection molding machine spits them right out. And for a company with that kind of a budget, yeah, I would have okayed it in a heartbeat because you had 3 films to make. And there were so many common parts among, you know, the Rogue One suits and continued use. Why not? So that's that for that. Yeah, least favorite armor to work on, still the First Order, even though it's really not that bad. Most favorites, pretty much doing Shoretroopers, Death Troopers, and R1TKs. Like I was just saying, they're all about the same, give or take, at least for some of the basic assembly things and how they look and how they go together. So I'm going to get really awkward again and do an intro video. Okay. Ooh, pretty.
What's up?
Somebody tagged us in a post, Kylo Jen, working on one of our Death Troopers. I wish I knew how to share stuff from Instagram. I'll try switching camera views and y'all can see my phone for a second. Just go to the bench camera. Nothing real special there. There's your live shout out right now to Kylo Jen with 3 N's, doing some gasket work on one of our Death Troopers. We have one of the Death Troopers built out here. Just liked it, so thanks for the tag in the post. Like I was saying, you're about to see me get awkward again to do an intro for the Death Trooper forearms. In fact, before I do that, I am going to go see if I have a set of untrimmed ones because I have something I want to point out about that. I will be back. What days are you off this week?
Wednesday, Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah.
Probably need to tell CJ to come in so we can like do all 3 of the backs at the same time, and I'll go ahead and set up all the backs that I have for the first orders and just
Yeah, I mean,
let me just do them all at the same time so that
I've
it's
done 2
done
already,
real
so.
quick.
And it did take
Yeah,
long.
you've got 2, he's got his, and then I've got 3 I can immediately do. I've got 3 or 4 more I think that need to be formed, and I can do them. But I at least want to knock them out at the same time if I can.
kind of had to get a prop here. Huh? I'm talking to the camera, kind of. Keeping my workbench clear. Alrighty, here comes awkward intro video number 2. Yes, I'm about to do that. I'll get to your questions here in just a second. Actually, let me just go and do your questions. What's my favorite non-canon trooper? Oh, that's not even fair. I don't even know what's canon and what's not canon anymore. Favorite non... I don't know. Is Jodo Cast non-canon now? If Jodo Cast is non-canon, I'll take him because you can find me in a horrible Jodo Cast costume in a background picture on Alvin Johnson's website. And I really liked Jodo Cast when he first came out in that era in the late 90s. I can't think of any non-canon armor. I mean, the McQuarrie stuff is cool. Actually, there is a favorite around the area. The, not the Shadow Scout. The Imperial Storm Commando. West End Game source books, and there was like a little miniature of one made, and I think Gentle Giant did a bust. Yes, the Imperial Storm Commando. He's all black. There were some Stormtrooperish parts, mostly Scout parts, some special parts. Really cool looking trooper. I'm usually not a fan of black armor with the exception of the Death Trooper. The Death Trooper because he has enough layers and stuff to break it up. I don't like the black because the bodysuits underneath can contrast with the armor too much. Like if you're just a black hole Stormtrooper, that just contrasts with just a plain spandex bodysuit in photos. The colors can be off in certain flashes. So that's why I don't like those. Yeah, that's that for me. I'm gonna try to do this intro video once he's done with the sander. Switch it back over to my live view here. There we go. Okay. Now, we get back over to our live recorded view here and do a terrible intro video. Now, let me think of words. Hi, I'm Mike from 850 Armor Works, and in this long live series of tutorials that we're bringing you today, the next piece that we are going to cover is the basic assembly of the Death Trooper forearms. That are going to be these parts right here. I know they're hard to see in black. Trust me, we'll get plenty of close-ups. I'm going to take you through just the basic assembly on these. Everything that I do to get them paint ready, and some of the special things that we do that involves the trimming that you may be confused about. So we'll switch views here and zoom in so we can go over the parts. So, hidden again. Okay, we're still on the assembly portion of the video, so always be sure to tune into our other videos so you can learn about awesome items like the thick super glue, Insta-Set, Evercoat, all sorts of little things that we use while we're building armor. The first thing that we're going to cover is identifying your parts. So in your kit, you're going to get 2 long forearms. You're going to cut them out to the straight line on both sides, and go ahead and sand them down and make sure that that line here is nice and straight. To prep it for gluing, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Once your sanding is done, and maybe you're already on to sanding, we're going to overlap glue these. So you're going to sand the insides, just some 150, 120 grit. Alright, next thing we're going to talk about is how the smooth inner forearms work. So, for the Death Trooper, they've got the indentations for the left and right. Trust me, I don't even know which ones are left and right off the top of my head. I have to look at pictures every time. But for our build, it doesn't really matter. These are universal. What I do need to tell you about here on these is how you need to trim them. On one side, it's going to be smooth. On the other side, you're going to have a step lip. Step lip kind of like on the ladder side of the forearm. But what you need to do is trim them all the way off. Just that straight line, they need to have that completely off. I brought this over as an example to see, just cut it off. This is pretty much how they come in the kits. There we go. So now that you're sure you've cut the edge off of each side, make sure that there's no like curved return edge. Sometimes there can be a little bit of one left. Make sure it's nice and smooth. That'll hinder it. Yeah, there's a little bit of one right here. Really tough to see because it's in black. So you'll want to sand that off or use a pair of snips just to make sure that that's off of there. Fine snips to do it. You might want to get it on the side. It's being very difficult because I don't want to cut too much into it. Alright, we'll go this way. See, the armor's really thick. Now these are, oh, what are these? These are some good Fiskars. Got these at Lowe's, I think. Yeah, there's some good Fiskars. They said they cut sheet metal, so they definitely go through plastic. Nice set of Craftsman straight snips. I love these too. Alright, that's all done there. Now, I like pencil marks. Sorry, I like to measure and mark absolutely everything. It doesn't matter. With these, let's go ahead and start on the side that has the detail. See, I dropped a couple of clamps in place so I can get my nice bright high visibility pencil. So I've got a nice pencil mark. We're going to sand up to that line. And I've already sanded the insides of both of these. We covered that earlier in the video. We'll just go look it, be sure to do it. Don't forget it. And since it was pencil marked right here already, I have that nice line to go to, as long as I get my forearm going in the right direction. And I can just get it up here. One test, practice. You can kind of get it up on like that line, and then you'll be able to roll it over. It works. I'm shaking the shake all the time, so it's a little bit more difficult of a technique for me to do. I usually try to do the slap it on method. And don't be sparse, but don't be liberal with your glue. A little bit of glue coming out won't hurt anything. You can always sand it off. I am a major subscriber to the all of your armor needs to be painted, no matter what material it's made from or what costume you're doing. Just paint looks better. So always think it could be fixed with paint and sanding and filler. It's no big deal. I'm lining it up starting on the front. There we go. And I'm being sure that I put pressure in the middle, get my clamps going, because the middle concerns me the most. That's usually the area that has the least amount of surface grip and pressure, so get in there and really push it with your fingers. Should be nice and cured right now. We'll go ahead and do the same thing to the other forearm. We'll set this one to the side for now. Let that super glue build up some extra strength. Take our other forearm, repeat the process. Just like the other one, we have that line. You can't see it on camera. I can barely see it in person. And I'm going to sand really close to the line. Go. Applying super glue right over the areas where I sanded. You want it a little bit away from the line though, if you can help it, just in case it squishes out. And that's about the end of my accelerator here too. Oh man. Kevin. I don't want to yell right now. Alright, we've got the accelerator, the pencil mark, super glue, and I'm going to use my thumb here to stabilize. We line up at the bottom, find that, and roll it. Apply pressure in the middle. Try to work it to the outside. See if you can get the clamps on. That helps a lot when you can. So you got a little super glue on me there. Transference. Alright, and that's the first side on both of them. Let this one sit there and build up strength, but we're going to do the same thing. We do that thin side first because it gives us more limitations whenever I'm trying to put it together. But for the second side, I'm going to run it over line it up where it should be, clamp it down, draw my pencil mark in place so we have a nice guide, and do the same thing that we did before. It's a little bit more difficult for the accelerator. And the glue on this side, you'll see a little bit of hand acrobatics going on here. There's going to be less activator that's actually there on it. We're just about out of activator as it is. Well, lo and behold, that one did not turn out too bad. What I mean by hand acrobatics is getting all this stuff in place so you can put a little bit of pressure down on it so it cures up nice and tight. Should be nice and cured. See, normally I take some accelerator and squirt it down in the channel right now, but since we're low on it, I can't do that. I need what we have left just to finish this other forearm. And I think I'm going to have to call it a day. That's disappointing. I'm going to have to get some in the morning on my way in. Unfortunately, it's a brand that I didn't want to use, and I definitely am not using it on white. So we've moved on to the next forearm. The first forearm is pretty much wrapped up to paint ready here. And do the same thing on this one. Line it up by hand into the bottom. Okay, I'm trying to do that for the camera, and it's not working out well for me. This actually does a little better for me. Got a little thing over here I don't like. I need to trim off. It's just a touch too long to fit on the inside here. I've got a bit of a return edge, so it's making it bow. Instead of getting rid of the return edge, I'll just move that a wee bit. Snip that off. Got a little ugly spot here too. That's why I love these so much. My tools. There we go. That's a lot more Death Trooper-like. A lot easier to put together. So, just like before. Now I'm putting pressure here in the middle whenever I put this pressure pencil mark in. If I let it up, it'll bow out the plastic. That's because of like physics and stuff. So you have to believe me. And I have that nice pencil mark to follow again, where I'm going to sand. Alright, let's hope we have enough accelerator. So we're going to pre-squirt the inside. Get a nice bead. I have room for a couple of beads on this one. And I'm going to line it up and try to apply pressure in the middle with my thumb and then clamp it on each end. And the super glue is burning me. It burns us!
Stuck.
It is an exothermic reaction, so be careful. Alright, that's probably nice. See, you got a little super glue, that's where my thumb was. That's probably not super glue, that's probably skin. or a mixture of both. And I'm painting this anyway, so having something like this and sanding it down just doesn't bother me one bit. If anything, you'll never see it. Just nice and glued together. We have ourselves a set of Death Trooper forearms. And yes, they are this long. I wear a size 12, 13 shoe. Do it right now. Put your foot on your forearm, and your foot are the same size from your elbow down to your wrist. So Death Troopers were extremely tall at 6'5", 6'7". Those guys have big feet, so we're in a really good zone right here for the size. And this is just how we get them mostly to paint ready. There are other details like the rocket launcher or the wrist rockets and the little rubber strips, painting of the inside if you need to, lots of little details like that. I'm gonna do an outro video. Do an outro here. Here comes your outro video, and 3, 2, 1. Thank you for joining us today for this Death Trooper forearm tutorial, and be sure to subscribe and give this video a like. Tune in for if you want to see some of our next tutorials whenever they come out. We've got plenty more coming. We're doing a whole series, so you may be able to continue following us live if at all possible. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye now. That was horrible.
It's fine.
That was horrible. I hate feeling fake. It feels too fake to me. Okay, so we can take a breather here for a second. I spent all that time putting together biceps and forearms. It took so long. Okay, well, King, to talk about the Ghost Trooper, we have the Death Trooper armor available on our site as white armor, and we have had, I think we've made between, I know we had 2 guys that said that they were definitely doing it. One guy did send us pictures back of having it finished. It looks pretty cool. I really liked it. It was something I wanted to do for a convention. I actually kind of thought of the idea about the same time as that video came on YouTube of the repaint of the Kodo statue. I didn't like all the areas that he had detailed on his, but yeah, I really like it overall. And I think it would be a good transition trooper, or maybe a different type of department. Like you have science troopers, maybe I don't know. I could fanfic that kind of weird stuff. So yeah, I mean, you can get it as range trooper. I think he's neat. But we don't have time or shop capacity to really do them right now. We have our own projects and things that we wanted to get done, so I think we're really going to continue just to focus on Rogue One and Mandalorian era armor in the future, other than what we've already got done for our current catalog and some of our current little works in progress right now. Error. YouTube is not enough. Oh no, it's we must be having some internet problems right now. So we're gonna have to close out this live video. I just had an error pop up that they're not getting smooth streaming. Our internet here can be a little wonky sometimes. So yeah, I'll just say bye here for a second, or for the day, sorry. Bye everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the questions. What are our thoughts on the Kyber Trooper? Kyber Trooper? Kyber Trooper? I don't know what the Kyber Trooper is. Sorry, Wolfgang, we'll have to check you next time on that. I'm gonna end the stream because of the alert here. It's just being silly, so it's probably our internet. Thank you all for tuning in. It made the workday go by a lot faster.
Oh, I see. It's nothing more than a Shoretrooper in a different color scheme.